Welcome back to Anime Rambles. Today we're going to be talking about the differences and similarities in between Cells at Work and Cells at Work Code Black. Obviously, there's a lot of similarities, but we're going to be focusing on more general and more specific parts of both shows. So, Cells at Work and Cells at Work Code Black are two shows airing right now, winter 2021. Cells at Work is on its second season, so it already has materials. We're both being animated by different studios, but have the same aesthetic and themes. And similarity wise, they're both about cells in a body. But it's where the differences come in that it starts becoming more and more separated. Both shows are they're following parallel paths forward. However, they start to diverge when you talk about the hosts of these two bodies. In Cells at Work, you have someone who's mostly healthy, but they get into some accidents occasionally. There's some bumps, bruises, head injuries, but nothing real like diet wise. Like generally they're a pretty healthy person. However, in Cells at Work Code Black, you have the exact opposite. You have someone who drinks, you have someone who smokes, you have someone who's unhealthy, overweight, and those are the two big differences in between the two shows. So in Cells at Work, you got red blood cell and white blood cell just drinking tea, going about their day. They're not too rushed. They know they have jobs to do and they're gonna get them done. But it's not a huge it's not like get them done, get them down, get them done. They're more relaxed. It's a softer pace. And then you have Cells at Work Code Black, where literally everything's on fire. Everything's bad all the time. It's never good. It's all the cells because the body is under such stress all the time. Everything's like gotta get this done, gotta get this done, gonna get this done. I'm gonna be late. I have to get there. I have a quota to meet. There's not enough time. I have so much work to do. There's no rest. There's no break. And because of the unhealthy body putting so much pressure on its own system that it's literally collapsing underneath it. It's like imagine a table with weak legs, and you keep on putting bricks on top of it, brick after brick after brick after brick. Now the table's legs, they're shaking. They're about to splinter and fall apart. That is the state this body is in. If Cells at Work was a table, it'd be a strong table with a couple of books on it, maybe a backpack. If there's weight on it, but it's not about to break, nowhere near. So the body in Cells at Work Code Black is in such a desperate situation that the themes is less about like, oh, how our cells work at taking care of viruses or bacteria or cancer or whatever, and it's a lot more about like the main antagonist in Cells at Work is bacteria. It's the problems in the body. In Code Black, the body is its own antagonist. It's its own worst enemy because this body smokes and drinks and does all this stuff. It's constantly. It's like self torture. Like the episode that came out today, it was about alcohol and how alcohol's effect on the blood and the liver. And there's a lot more character depth in Cells at Work Code Black, but it's like, okay, so the alcohol, oh, what was out of focus? There we go. But alcohol has an effect on the blood. First, it makes the blood drunk, and then the blood goes to the liver to detox, and then all these negative thoughts keep boiling up because the blood's producing toxins that aren't good for the body, and the liver is trying to detox it. And because this body drinks so much, even the cells that are supposed to detox the blood are going through like overwork. It's not Cells at Work Code Black. It's Cells at Overwork. That'd be a great title. But because of how much this body's beating itself up, there is no room for what's happening. And in cells at work, it does a great reflection. The cells consume what the body consumes. So in cells at work, they're always drinking tea, always. In Code Black, they're drinking alcohol, they're smoking. It's never good. Clearly, one body has a much more healthy, sustainable lifestyle. And here you have our red blood cell from Code Black in the back, and he's looking at this inflammation that's happening. And even um, the macrophage, the stomach cells, the cells in the liver, they're all like tired. They're like about to fall asleep because of all this overwork that's happening, because of all of these toxins that are being pumped into your body. The main message in Cells at Work is look at all these cells working to help you. Cells at Work Code Black is like, why are you hurting the cells that are trying to help you? We're going about two different perspectives on two different bodies on how they both function, but in function in two different ways. One, it's like, why are you hurting what's trying to help you? And Cells at Work too, it's like, look at all these people trying to help you. It's kind of like if you were watching a show about two shows about firemen. One show is about an arsonist who keeps burning down his own house, and these firemen, they're desperately, like, they're tired all the time. They keep on having to rush out and put out this dude's house, but he keeps on lighting it on fire. And these firemen, they're on the point of breakage, for passing out. They don't know why they're doing this anymore. This dude's just going to keep on lighting his house on fire, but they know it's their duty, so they keep on coming to the rescue. And so they're just so exhausted all the time. And Cells at Work is a lot more about, like, the firemen just go, they help people, they feel good about helping people, they go back, they have a good time, then they go out, they save more people from a fire. It's the difference in between self-destructive behavior and have the huge effect that that can have on your body. Cells at Work gives a perfect baseline for Cells at Work Code Black. If you are to watch these in a series format, I would recommend watching Cells at Work Code Black first, and then watching Cells at Work episode by episode, because honestly, it makes me feel bad watching Cells at Work Code Black. There's never a good outcome. There never, never. But it's a good show, and it's fun to watch the struggles of someone who's desperately trying to help, but he knows there's nothing that he can do when he feels a sense of powerlessness. And Cells at Work is this more wholesome show that's about how the cells actually help you. And it's so good, so good. Both shows are great. But one is it's like watching if I had to describe two shows that are similar, it's kind of like watching Terraformars before they actually arrived on the planet. How it felt like there was nothing that they could do against these overpowered beings. How it was literally impossible to try to go up against them. They were just so powerful and strong. It felt like pure hopelessness compared to a show like what's a good example? Like Hunter x Hunter, where there's conflicts that come up and arise, but you know the main character is going to push through it at the end of the day. Or, like, there's going to be some losses, there are going to be casualties, but at the end of the day, you know that Gon's going to survive, you know that Killua's going to survive, but not everyone will. And it focuses more on those. Each episode focuses more on, like, a bacteria or a cell that it wants to highlight per episode. Cells at Work Code Black focuses a lot more on a self-destructive behavior. Episode 1 had smoking. Episode 2 had alcoholism. I'm pretty sure it was split into two parts, or was it just alcoholism? It also had, like, inflammation, which is what you're seeing here, which is the cells literally being on fire, and it focuses on, like, how much the cells are overworked, and, like, I feel like it's also a great reflection on, like, how the workforce is now in the real world, how everything feels like a rush, even like even though you're rushed, the people above you are also rushed. Everyone's pushing forward because quotas are not being met, even though everyone's trying so hard, because the company itself is self-destructive. It's not taking the right course of action. It's the difference in between working smart and working hard. The body in cells at work works smart. They are healthy. They live a good life. There are still bumps and scrapes, but they can get by it because their body isn't overworked. And cells at work, code black, is the definition of working hard, not smart. They keep on moving, they keep on going, they keep on doing everything they can. But the world they live in is literally fighting against them while they're trying to help it. Honestly, the beer I pulled out is like a month old now. I don't drink. That's for if anyone else comes over. But Cells at Work, Code Black has really made me think to myself, I will never smoke or do drugs or anything because I don't want to fight against my own cells, which are fighting so hard to keep me alive, to keep me going. I don't want to give them a harder time than they have to. They're both great shows, and they both have very different ideologies and philosophies, but they cover the same subject matter. It's quite beautiful to see how different they can be, even though they cover the exact same thing. I recommend both shows, checking them out. They're airing this season. Cells at Work is on Netflix, so very easy to view. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Keeping this video a little bit more short and sweet. But yeah, Cells at Work and Cells at Work Code Black, two great shows, both coming out. Yeah. If you liked it, if you liked this video, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. If you have any other interpretations, leave in the comments below. I'll see you all in the next episode.